What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Let's beat this bird's ass. Let me get my heal off real fast. There we go. Actually, I'm not that worried about health. I'll just chill up here and wait for him to do his thing. Get fucking javelin, bro. Glad I bought that. It's only had a couple of times where it's really come through clutch, but right here, oh yeah. They're like, we made a boat and came all the way over here and he's dead. What is this bullshit? We just boated all the way from North America to Europe. And his dead? You little monkey people ain't doing nothing. Some choose to remain? Nah, he didn't choose to remain. He just got knocked the fuck out. Caught a javelin to the beak. Told him to sit down. So we just collapsed back down to the earth after beating his ass. How you gonna glide now, bro? You needed that. Wait, is Ori gonna combine with this thing and become the new tree? Because there was mention about, like, you know, you need to take over for me, but I didn't think that meant, like, take over for me as in you will turn into a tree. Some Resurrection of Christ type shit going on. Raised the owl from the dead, restored his wings. Man, my boy Ori couldn't even become a tree. He just became a patch of grass. Oh, wait. Never mind. He's sprouting. Ori's a flower. Wait, so this voice is supposed to be Ori? When my name was Ori? Ori just becomes this, like, big dick narrator with the super deep voice? That's a new Ori right there. Ori Feather. It's gonna pop out another baby so we can have a third game in the series. All right. And I'm assuming this is credit roll. We're just sitting. Yep, there it goes. All right, so let's talk about the game. I gotta be honest, I got some mixed feelings. Now, first and foremost up front, I want to say that obviously I have played and beaten this entire thing pre-release. Right now it is Monday, March 9th, 11 p.m. So the day one patch has not yet deployed, and I most definitely think that would have had an impact on a lot of things that I had issues with, which I'm going to rattle a couple of these off because I am curious to find out how many of these issues persist and are not things that are addressed by the day one patch. So we had the issues with sound. We're just going to say sound in general. There was a bunch of fuckery with, you know, sounds not going off or certain sounds not going off, or sometimes there being no sound at all. Sound was a mess when it would get buggy, and it was usually for me just like leaving the game on because I'd be, you know, playing throughout the entirety of a day. I feel like there was some kind of glitch with a couple of bosses where bosses wouldn't do certain moves like almost at all. And then I'd die and I'd reset, and all of a sudden it was like their moveset was drastically different. I mean, you know, just looking at a Kolak or whatever, that fight, I was straight struggle bossing forever. Like, and he would do the torpedo, but he would do the torpedo once, and then he would go back to just like spitting his shit at me or doing the tongue thing. And I don't know if I just wasn't in water enough to proc the torpedo, but the attempt that we killed him, I mean, Christ, he kept doing the torpedo. He was like, torpedo, 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 torpedo. And I was like, all right, well, great. You know, this fight's easy. Same case, looking at the spider. The first time I got to phase 2 from the spider, she was like, summon adds, ground pound, more adds, ground pound. And then the attempt after that, she just kind of sat around and let me beat her ass. You know, I don't know. It didn't feel like a consistent boss experience. And what I mean by that is like when I'm fighting, say, Nameless King, you know, I know he's going to swoop on down, and I know what moves are going to, you know, there's specific tells you look for, and you know, there's different things the boss can do, but those tells are consistent. And with the bosses, at least without the day 1 patch, there were times where I felt it was very inconsistent. Like even the final boss, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I was completely reading all of his moves. I was like, here comes his 1-2-3 dive. Here comes his flame breath. And then that one time we died, and at the reset, you know, prior to that, he was doing like his 1-2-3, and then he would do his like AoE shadow aura, and then he would do his flame breath. He was pretty much sticking with those 3 moves. And then instead he started doing a bunch of extra shit. He was doing way more swoops than he was before. He was doing the rain, the feather rain, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It was a little weird. So there was and don't even get me started on that fucking tremor thing that I had to escape from. God damn it. There's no way that, I don't know, maybe I'm just an old dude these days that can't stick with it, but that felt disgustingly strong or disgustingly hard compared to every other escape sequence I've done in both this and Blind Forest. So anyway, moving on. Now, if a lot of this shit might be day 1 patch, if it is, let's go into the other stuff. Gameplay was still tight. I had a couple times where I felt like I kind of jutted in an opposite direction. Not sure if that's my new controller or something else. This controller didn't experience those issues with the other Ori, so maybe a day 1 patch thing. Overall, the world I liked. There were a lot of areas where I kind of got stuck because, things were kind of hidden. Like, I mean, we spent a long time trying to find those damn starfish and figuring out that's what was preventing me from continuing. So the worlds were well designed. A lot of times what you needed to progress did kind of blend it into the environment. That would have been nice if stuff kind of popped a little bit more, because I definitely there were a couple spots where I was like, I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to go. This doesn't make sense. I've explored this shit. Anyway, moving on from that, I'm not sure how much I liked the new approach they took compared. So in the last Ori, we had this big old level up tree, and I didn't really like the level up tree. It was kind of generic. And I did like the whole, select your upgrades thing, kind of how you have charms in Hollow Knight. That felt good. However, a lot of the abilities just felt kind of ass. I mean, the heavy hammer thing, that was great for plowing through a ton of enemies. The bow, I mean, shit, the bow had like 3, and there's probably even more. So the bow had 3 to 4 different emblems that you could be used to upgrade it. But even then, it was just kind of ass. Like, the damage wasn't there. Even doing the triple shot with like rapid fire, damage was still just pitiful on that thing. And like, we got the bow at the start, and I was like, oh, this thing is gonna clap. This thing is gonna do some work. And it just never felt like it did work. Maybe I just didn't have the right things to buff the bow up. Maybe I wasn't using it right. I don't know. The bow sure as hell didn't feel like it was all that good to me. Some other stuff, the fire AoE, that felt fucking useless. like absolutely useless, just like blah. And then one damage per second ticks. What? That's it? We didn't even bother with the ninja star. I don't even want to imagine how weak that thing was. Watch was actually like the strongest thing in the goddamn game. We didn't know it. But then other stuff like we get light burst. Light burst was disgustingly strong. Light burst was doing as much damage as javelin, but it was also applying a damage over time. And you could like charge it for basically an AoE explosion. I mean, it trivialized most of the other stuff. And javelin was cool. Javelin literally saved me at the end of the game because I was like, I need to, you know, either I'm gonna bash these things back at this guy or I'm not. And then I was like, hold up, pulled out javelin, and javelin is like a fucking heat-seeking laser, man. You just right in the face, right in the face. So some things felt really good. Javelin, the heavy weapon swing, and that was about it. For purchasable abilities, that was about it. The rest of the purchased abilities are little sentry. Sentry was ass. Fire was ass. Shurikens were probably gonna be ass. And you know, I don't know. I would have liked to see a little bit more balance there. As for leveling this stuff up, you know how like you basically spend your spirit powers to like pick either, you know, level up an ability or level up your little tokens. I did like that. I felt that was a much better way to kind of feel out progression compared to the old school way where you would just, you know, literally go up a tree until you got what you wanted. Wasn't there? There was, yeah. So we're gonna warp back to the base. In terms of content, the game definitely had way more content. We're wrapping up at 31 episodes. The last Ori was 20 or 21 episodes, so a sizable increase there. And we're only at like 80%. I want to say when we wrapped up the other one, we were around 90 or 96. It said we were 80% or something. I still got a bunch of stuff for him that I could do. You know, we have 8 ore for that, 10 ore for that. So even if I do this one, you know, there's still 10 more ore out there that I need to hunt down. There's the area that I didn't go with the cave that I needed to have the light to do. There's the area with the puzzle. I didn't do that at all. You know, there's in terms of sheer content, there's a lot. There's a lot of content going on. I would have liked to do the burrows, but and the artifact for talk. I don't know. That's something to fuck around with on stream if we want to mess around and come back and do stuff. Map's pretty sizable. Some interesting new mechanics. I liked the burrowing. Burrowing was really cool. I liked that a lot. God, that area was tricky as fuck. A lot of side quests all over the place. That's definitely a nice addition. Like the previous Ori, you know, it very much felt like you were on a quest and that was it. And now it feels more like you're part of a world. Like, as opposed to just experiencing the world, it feels like you are a part of it. You know, you're here with the characters, and you know, you see like you see all these people, you interact with all of them. There's all kinds of little quests and whatnot coming together. Good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude's a bitch. I kind of want to go pick up that thing just to see if it's doo-doo or not. So yeah, this one was good. Spirit Smash was awesome. Sentry was ass. Blaze was mostly ass. Have to pause the Spirit Star's flight and spin it to its place. That could be good. Who knows? Where's it at? Where's Spirit Star at? Let's try this thing out. You know, we're gonna try it out. I want to see what kind of damage the Spirit Star does. Like, does that do good damage? It doesn't. Ninja Stars don't usually do good damage, you know. So we're gonna give it a test here. See how it feels. Yeah, sure. Let's go. That's fine. Let's go right there. In terms of music was pretty much what you'd expect for Ori. It was good. The score was good. When the sound wasn't bugging out, I think the sound itself was good. Like, things sounded pleasant. I guess that's a good way to put it. Wow, I only had to use up almost everything to pull that off. That's amazing. So yeah, so that's ass. Just too many abilities that are ass, you know? Whereas Javelin is like, Brappa! Javelin, you toss that out and you feel like you're fucking Thor or Zeus or something. Did I upgrade it? Or, well, Javelin. It's called Spike, but same difference. Like, I mean... Did they not respawn? Just clapped instantly. I mean, given it uses up 2, the fact that 1, it does big dick damage, and 2, the fact that it like basically homes in on your target. Like, I jump in the air and it slow-mos Ori and aims exactly where it wants to hit. That makes it amazing compared to a bunch of the other stuff. All the other stuff is just hot garbage. But anyway, all in all though, I mean, I did enjoy the gameplay loop. I think if I wasn't trying to rush through this game because I knew that I had Neo 2 on deck, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But that's just an issue with my personal situation versus the game. You know, it's not the game's fault that I was excited and a sequel to a game I really enjoyed was coming up. You know, nothing can be done about that. And even now, even after being done the game, I mean, there's still a fair amount of exploration for me to do if I wanted to keep going and get a bunch of shit. Like, I don't know if this has a New Game Plus, but that would actually be kind of fun, just to do a New Game Plus run and, you know, have all of the abilities maxed out, essentially just run around, see how fast I can fuck stuff up. Could be something that's entertaining. What we got here? Anyway, though, so let's see, break it down. Final score. See, this is hard because I had a lot of fucking issues with bugs. I think if I was to put the bugs aside, and this is under, all right, if we are under the assumption that a majority of bugs are fixed with the day 1 patch, I think I would put this game at a 9 out of 10. If those bugs all persisted, 7 out of 10. I think that's where we're at here, because I mean, it was a good game, but there were certain things that just felt, mainly in the balance department, off. And I mean, I'm assuming that the bugs will be fixed with day 1 because that's what happens with bugs, but I don't know if they're planning on really addressing any balance changes. And there was definitely, I mean, I don't know. Well, you guys, everyone obviously saw my frustration with that one encounter, but I don't know. I did not think that was just running around. The sandworm, that just felt like really just not right. Feel appropriate in terms of difficulty and how much effort it took to get through that, and just nope. So I'm gonna grab this last thing just because I'm here. But maybe we'll do a stream, like a free roam stream, just run around and collect stuff. That might be fun to do. Bounty. Enemies drop more spirit light, but have more life and deal more damage. That's interesting. So yeah, I mean, the spirit shards, that's a cool system. It quite literally is copy pasted from Hollow Knight, except you can load the fuck up. I like that we have a little thing here so you can see, you know, you can basically track, like, oh, I found that, oh, I restored the light. Oh, here we go. That returned to his family. You know, I did the Grom stuff. Here's more Grom stuff. Over here is Mock. Over here is Ophir's knowledge. Like, there's, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot to do. And a lot of it seems like it's side questy type stuff that could be fun and not feel too tedious. So I got to give them credit there. Anyway, though, this was fun. If we do a New Game Plus thing, it would be entirely live streamed. I would not want to do another series. I think this would be a lot more fun live streaming around too. But either way, we're closing this thing on out because there is another game that is patiently waiting on the PlayStation and it needs me to come beat it. So thanks for coming on by. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Apologies for bombarding you with 31 freaking episodes in the course of like 4 days, but gotta make space for Neo. What can I say?